About the time that Ziggy began to harass me about doing bigger deals, I received a warning from a friend. One night, while I was walking around the house, hooked up to my Coke IV pole, per usual, a buddy of mine came to the house. He told me he believed the house was being watched. He said that for the last few days there had been 2 guys staked out at the end of the street, and that they followed anyone seen coming and going from my house. I didn't really listen to this warning, whether I felt invincible or whether I was just an addict who couldn't do any better. I just didn't listen. And I sure as hell didn't change my behavior for the better. Instead, I made worse decisions than ever before for the next few weeks. I had become a total junkie and was completely reckless. I was rarely going into work, but when I did, I spent a fair amount of time in the bathroom shooting up just to get through the day. On one such occasion, I realized I did not have a clean needle when I went into the bathroom. I had just come from administering a breathing treatment, and remembered I had the tuberculin syringe from my last patient. One of the drugs used in breathing treatments is isoprel. It's a lot like a shot of adrenaline. I needed to get high, and that's what I had on hand, so I drew up the Coke shot in the used syringe and pushed. My heart rate skyrocketed, but I knew what was causing it to race, so I just waited there in the bathroom for it to wear off. After a few minutes, I went back to work for about 15 or 20 minutes until I needed another hit. My life was spiraling out of control, and I didn't even notice. Ziggy kept pushing me to sell bigger quantities of Coke to 2 interested buyers he had lined up. I kept telling him I didn't want to meet any new people, and I didn't want or like to move so much product at one time. At first, he wanted me to sell an ounce of Coke to the guys. He kept telling me, "Come on, man, it's an ounce of Coke. That's $2,000. Ziggy was right. It was a lot of money to turn your nose up at. And, knowing that, he finally wore me down, and I finally caved into his request.